So we are told that a corner point A, B, C, and D of a range are such that B is 8 km directly of east and C is 6 km from B on a bearing of 30 degrees. D is 7 km from C and a bearing of 300. So we are going to have a sketch first, a sketch of this diagram. So B is 8 kilometers direct east of A. We are supposed to start with of A because A is a point indicated as a start. So maybe if I just give a small sketch here, a small sketch, that let this be point A. So direct east is this side, is where I'm supposed to find B. And this should be 8 kilometers on a sketch. So C is 6 kilometers on a bearing of 300 from B. So a bearing of 300. How do we find the bearings? Just to have a small brief here about bearing. Bearings angles start to be measured from this point. So our first degrees, 0 degrees, it's always the North Pole. Then 90 degrees ends at that point. We proceed all the way to 180. Then from this point we have 270. Then the way from here up to here runs all the way from 271 up to 360. Therefore, if you are told that C is 6 kilometers on a bearing of 30 from B, so 30 lies between this mark 0 to 90. So on a sketch, 30 is around somewhere there. Point C. The distance is 6 kilometers. Then we have another point D. D is 7 kilometers from point C on a bearing of 300. So 300, if I look at my sketch here, if 0 to 90 is here, 91 to 180 lands on this area. Then from this another area we have 181 to 270 because just a matter of adding 90. Then 270 to 360. So if we talk about the angle 300 degrees, we expect it to go towards this direction. Therefore, from point C, 300 degrees should be somewhere there. This is just a small sketch. So this is where point D is expected to be. On a bearing at 7 kilometers, that is 7 kilometers. So this is just a sketch of how the work is supposed to be. So the importance of sketch, it's going to help us to bring this exact drawing to the actual one using the pair of compass and a protractor needed. So if I just have a clear one, taking this point maybe to be our point A, make sure you use a ruler, measure around 8 degrees. I'm just going to do a sketch. 8 degrees is maybe somewhere there. Point A, point B. That this is 8 centimeters. Kilometers, don't write kilometers on this area. Then we have 6 kilometers on a bearing of 30. You are going to take your protractor. Then you measure 30 degrees from this point. 30 degrees should go all the way to this side to have point C. This is 6 centimeters. Then from point C, because your protractor cannot measure 300, what you're going to do, you put the protractor looking towards this side. Because for this one, the protractor was looking on the other side, so that we have 30 degrees to lie here. So the other one, we are going to put our protractor to look on the other direction so that a 0 can start from here. And you know very well that if I'm supposed to measure 300, already this side has taken out 180. Therefore, if I subtract 180, I'll have 120. So you're going to measure 120 from the distance here, maybe to a point there. You call it point D. Then you use imaginary lines. Why do we use imaginary lines? For the points not indicated. Take a ruler, use imaginary lines to find that area. So this one is the actual. You do the actual using the pencil. Make sure you're using the pencil. Then you are told the bearing of A from D. So you're going to start at D. Automatically, you see that point A and D are touching through this point. And according to our sketch on bearing here, we have said that this side here runs from 180 to 270. Therefore, we expect our answer to be 180 to 270. That is the scale range of our answer. And the actual answer is 210 degrees, but it is marked as a positive or negative 2. A positive or negative 2. It means that if a student gets 208, 209, 210, 211, 212 are all marked as right answers. Then the distance BD, measuring distance, is very easy. Just take your ruler, 15 centimeter ruler, measure from point B to point D. Then you note it down, and there the expected answer should be 9.2 kilometers with an error of positive or negative 0.2. So if you write 9.0, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, all are marked as right answers. Then the next part and the next question there, you're told to calculate the perimeter of the range. So how will you find the perimeter of the range? Perimeter, it is very easy. It's just, perimeter is a distance around a figure. So you're going to measure the distance AD. Then you add 8 plus 6 plus 7 plus the distance that you have gotten between A and D. Therefore, the expected answer there should be something like 10.0 kilometers for this part. So if we add 10 plus 8 plus 6 plus 7, then you get the total perimeter of the range. Maybe around 31 kilometers. Remember, we are supposed to give our answer into kilometers.